This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation. 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 The Foundation. The Foundation. Foundation. The Foundation.
Excuse me for the interruption. Will you come under the quick reminder to say this coming Friday, and please come over the lawn. You went to see my number one town round town. And it's a Friday evening. Bim! The people have died of working. Lord, them hear the disco playing. Bim! It make them feel like dancing. Ain't no summer set. Brita will be greater with the disco operator. 5-double-18 and a 6-tweeter. And this the DJ talk sweeter. See on the drums are up with the echo chamber. Watch your man. Play the play.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is 96.9 FM Radio, The Foundation with Howard Grant right here, bringing it to you on a beautiful Friday afternoon. I'm so happy to be in your company today. Today's really a beautiful day to be above ground. If you are in the land of the living, you should most definitely be giving praise. I know that we're midday, and these are the things that you sort of introduce at the top of your day. But in case you forgot, talk to me. In case you forgot, we're here and we're live and we're full effect. And as we start off the show, the second part of the show, you know, I'm going to have Daisy. I know that she was on with Dwight a little earlier this morning, but she's going to come back and really talk to us and kind of drive home this concept and idea of what she's going to be doing. She normally does it around Christmas time, but she's going to be able to do her play during this particular time, right? So I want to be able to host her, accommodate her, always have a great time with her. We're going to see her from 1 to 2, so we can have a good conversation there. But before I do anything like that, this is kind of a sombering moment for me, and that's why I opened it up like that. Yesterday something happened that touched me very closely, and kind of, you know, caused me the wells of my eye, it really swole up. And my heart goes up to the Darville family for the loss of my good friend Gerard. You know Gerard. Gerard actually, he sat with me many times, right? And more specifically, you would remember him sitting with me on Rush Hour. And, you know, he had great aspirations to kind of run in Pinewood. Very innovative and creative, coming up with these concepts and ideas of how to be able to deal with whether it be crime or whether it be the flooding in that area. And, you know, he was very forthcoming and impassioned with this information. And, you know, he and I had good conversations, man. We got very close. And I'm grateful to see that the organization has not forgotten him. You must commend the PLP. They ain't going to forget the people. Amen? That's a hint. Just want to put that out there. They haven't forgotten him. And I didn't know. I mean, because I don't really keep up with, I really don't. If it's not in the news, if I can't consume it, if I can't really kind of introduce it to the show, I don't kind of linger on it. So I don't really keep up with a lot of things that's happening on social media outside of what I can be able to bring to you that's tangible. And, my wife is keeping me up to date because, my wife knows her wife. His wife, I'm sorry, right? My wife knows his wife, and, he and I are good friends. So they're, basically in the same age bracket as us. We had 3 kids together. They had their 3 kids. We had our 3 kids. We just had an addition to our family. And my wife asked me the other day, she said, how is when the last time you heard from Gerard? I said, I haven't heard from him in a while. I hope he's okay. He said, his wife was looking for blood the other day or something like that, right? And I said, well, I didn't know, baby doll, I didn't know. And so she and I started to have this kind of a conversation. And yesterday, before I said anything, I must say this. Yesterday, when I saw the information come across my phone, now, not the traditional Facebook thing. It came as a WhatsApp independently. And while I was on the show yesterday, my wife texted me and she asked me if Gerard's wife passed away. So I don't know if you listened back to the show, you could see me pause at a particular time. And that was that moment. I paused. And it was a touching moment for me because I always, as a father and a husband, look at it like this. With our most recent child, our daughter, I had a little baby girl, right, Helena. And I could tell you the whole story. I mean, I know maybe you don't know the business, but I got a call from someone. This is how God works. I got a call from someone. I was waiting for funding to do something independently, a show. And this particular person said that, Howard, I'd like to sponsor your show. And, I've been back and forth trying to be able to get this person to do something. I wanted to do something on television. And as I was trying to get him, I couldn't get him. So, in true style of my grandmother, I kind of stepped back and I said, all right, I won't run him down. I'm not going to run after him. If he calls me, he calls me. He calls me out of the blue. My wife is in her last trimester and we kind of prepared to go to the doctor. And while he calls me, he says, Howard, can we have that meeting on Friday? So I said to my wife, I said, baby, we got to rush and have this. We got to go to the doctor and make sure that we kind of get checked out on Thursday because her time was supposed to be for Friday. Watch me. The baby's not supposed to come until next week. We're in June now. The baby's not supposed to come until next week. But I had to kind of see if we can see the doctor a little earlier, right? So she said, okay, no problem. We set up the thing. We went on Thursday. The doctor did the full scan. First time he did it in a while. He did the full scan of the baby, come to find out the embryonic sac, right? Didn't have enough fluid in it, right? So he looked at it, he said, Howard, this don't look right. So I said, what? So he said, Howard, we have to go into surgery now. So I said, oh my God. So he immediately prepped her. We had to go do everything for surgery the next day to be able to have the baby. We did so. We had to, at the time, this was earlier this year, last year, June, sorry. And we had to, at the time, go and get the COVID test. So I went back to get the COVID test. She got hers. Because I'm here with all the kids. Talk to me. I'm in the room. I clip the thing. I do the whole thing. I'm here, right? I don't kind of peek over. I'm not going to look over the doctor's shoulder to see that. Just a little bit much. I just want to be in the room, right? Because I was there for all the kids. So I figuring, I'm going to be here for this one. So I get in there, do my test. She does her test, get back to the hospital. The hospital's not, we over at doctors. And so they're not coming to us and, kind of preparing us. It's supposed to be time for the surgery. No one's saying anything to us. The security, he knows me, right? If he's listening, good afternoon, my brother, you know who you are. So he comes to me, he says, Howard, because I know you. I can say this to you, but I ain't supposed to say it like this. He said, but you are COVID negative, but your wife is COVID positive. So we look at each other like, what the hell is this? Are you crazy? So I say, no, man, if I COVID negative, trust me, whatever this woman got, I got that today. Whatever she got, we got. We got that together, right? So I tell him, I said, no, man, that can't be. Long story short, I was not allowed to go into the doctor's thing, right? I'm telling you, I'm going somewhere with this. And it did something to me. I said, Lord, I don't know what this is. Now, keep in mind, we're still sensitive because her mother passed away. Talk to me. My wife's mother had just recently passed away a year before. during the same kind of time. And so we're still charged with this kind of a grief in the family. We're still charged with this kind of an idea that, okay, there's loss here. We're excited about the life that's coming. We're still kind of somber in our thinking as it relates to, well, Grammy, you can see this one. Grammy Lois, you can see this one. Oh, my God. Right? So when he says to me that I can't go in, I think about what Grammy them say, well, giving birth is like one foot in the grave, one out. And so I'm sitting here and I say, okay, I can't go home. So I sat there for the entire time when it was time to give birth. So they had her isolated the entire time. And so when it's time to give birth, I sat down at the lobby at the foot by the elevator. So if there was anything, I could run up. And I was prayerful the entire time. Talk to me. And I started to cry just a bit when she left because who knows what this could be. And I wasn't there with her. I normally hold her hand and we pray through every one of the births. And I'm not here. So we had to do our prayer prior. And I said, baby doll, listen to me. Come home. You hear me? Come home. She said, I'm coming home. I said, I need you to understand me. You're strong. You're capable. I need you to come home. I don't know. Because who knows what goes wrong? Who knows? The doctors already told me the embryonic, the sac, it didn't have enough fluid in it. Who knows what else is going on in here, right? So I said, baby, listen to me. Bring my baby home and come home. I'm telling you my business. But I need you to know that it's not isolated to what happens to Howard. This is something that many of us, if we know about this, we go through, right? And so I said to her, I said, listen, baby, I'm crying now. I said, I need you home. I need you to be with me. I got you. You got to take care of these children and you got to take care of me. Okay? Come home. She said, okay, baby, come home. All right. I said, good. When the baby was, because, we have our own pediatrician, the whole thing, right? Shouts out to Dr. Yashika. She is absolutely wonderful in everything that she does. She's Hannah now, Seymour Hannah, Yashika Seymour Hannah. She's our pediatrician for all the kids. She's very, very good, wonderful, great bubbly personality. I love her. We always enjoy her. And they kind of quickly called me up after they gave birth, right? Because they knew I was there. Is he there? Yes. Tell him come up. Boom. My baby girl, small. None of my children were this small. Come to find out, the umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck at the same time. If we had waited one more day, we wouldn't have a baby to be celebrating. And so I know about this kind of transition in letting our families go into this space by themselves, especially during this COVID time. I know about this. I know about this kind of an idea of being able to separate and not being able to touch and show the love and share the love and be able to commune with the person who's in the hospital and trying to recover or going through whatever they're going through. I know. My wife's mother knew about it the year before when she passed away. She decided that whatever comforts the hospital could offer over in Florida, she didn't want that. She wanted to be able to transition with her family. And so, boom, today, when I hear about the story yesterday, and I know many of you would have watched what Kenise had been able to put out on Facebook talking about the treatment that she would have gotten from PMH and her disappointment thereof. And I know a great deal of us share in those sentiments in one way or the other, whether it's here, whether it's in Grand Bahama, at the government hospitals and whatnot. And I don't want to make this beat up on PMH Day. But we got to figure out a way to be able to commune with our families and touch them. The hospital, I know that you're taking all the precautions, but there's loved ones that's transitioning without us being able to touch them. And I think that's more hard than anything. To know that, because when you were going in, it was a regular procedure. When you were going in, there was an expectation that you would come out. And it didn't happen. And so I want to say a significant and a very heartfelt condolence to my very good friend, Gerard Dalvo. My brother, I have to squeeze in. I did not call you yesterday. I couldn't call you yesterday. What do I say during this particular time? I put up a few prayers for you all day yesterday, last night, this morning. I promise you. My brother, we are continuing to pray for you and your family for, I think, the last boy that you got is chosen. I know that he's going to do great things in this life, and his mother won't be there with him. My brother, I promise you, every prayer I could say in the world for you and your family, I said, because I cannot imagine losing my wife, and we're the same age. I mean, I promise you. I pray that the Father watches over you and keeps you. Oh, God. I'm so sorry, my brother. I'm so sorry that you lost your wife. I know you love her with your whole heart. And I love that about you. And I just pray that you're okay, man. I really do. Wherever you are, whatever this is, man, please. Someone, please squeeze on him. Hold his neck. He's going to be good, man. Please. Y'all give him support during this time. And let's not make this about pointing blame. He's lost someone that he loves. And none of us know about this. None of us know about this. After my mother-in-law passed away, I understood very closely about this kind of grief that men carry after they lose the one that they've shared so much of their lives with. The Bible calls them the wife of our youth. My father-in-law, he couldn't sleep. I had the little box at the time, and I was using the box for my television. Every 3 days, I had to get a refresher with the box. He using all my data off my box. 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, this man watching YouTube, listening to the ocean. He can't sleep, right? Listening to the ocean. He listening to sermons. He listening to this. He listening to that. And every time I wake up, this man up. He stayed with me for a while. I tell him, I said, come stay by me. Right? He stayed by me for a while. I know, I can see. I've witnessed, let me just be very clear, this idea of grief and separation. Man, Gerard, I love you like a brother. And I just pray that the Father watches over you. You're good, decent. I know that you're the next dispensation of leadership, you and many others who continue to be able to move, whether it's in your political organization or whether, more specifically rather, in this country. I know that you're going to do great things. I just pray that God watches over you and keeps you in your time of bereavement, and you and your family, your children. I keep telling my wife, I think you got 5 kids. I don't know why did I say 5. She says, no, they have just as much kids as we have. So I said, wow. I pray for you, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're going to start today. We're going to just talk like that. I want to put a couple of things here. And in the second hour, like I said to you, we're going to bring Miss Daisy on, but I had to kind of release that. And you know something? I was sent some information. And I don't know who put this up, and that's not what we're going to get into. Who put it up, what they said, so forth and so on. We're not going to get into that today. But there's something that came over that kind of struck a chord with me. Last year during this time, my good friend Shanique Miller, you know Shanique. Everybody knows Shanique. She lost her sister. And there is this sort of an idea floating on social media that it exists in the same realm. There's this allegation, there's this sort of, they've levied this position that there has possibly been negligence. This is the allegation. This is what's floating in social media. I don't know, do we go through the stages of grief during this time instantly and try to identify who's to blame? This is a rough period. Guys, we're going to have good conversation today. The lines are going to be open for you for the first hour of the show. Let's talk. I see that the Prime Minister is having some conversations. He's talking about these kind of 3 steps or top 3 priorities. We're seeing that in the papers today. And Davis outlines the agenda for 2003, the economy, education, crime, the fight to receive priority and attention. And I just want to know if it's going to be more of the same. I feel like we've heard these things before. Is it just going to be money thrown at it to rectify it, or is it going to be sort of an infusion of creativity and this kind of an innovation to ensure that there's the movement that we desire, that we seek, that we anticipate. I want to talk about it. Let's do that when we get back, guys. I'm going to take this quick commercial break. I want you to give me a call today, 325-4316, 325-4259, or 422-4796. I apologize to you, man. I really didn't mean to start it at this somber note, but this is something that I've been carrying in my heart, and the country needs to know that we're losing people to negligence, whether that's the allegations coming thereof. Long story short, we're going to have a stronger conversation about healthcare and opportunities. And there's going to have to be a conversation about the fact that in these particular professions, there needs to be passion and not just the pursuit of a purse, right? Not just this kind of an idea of a payment. I think we need to be able to kind of infuse a true sense of passion and revive that in our people again, because lives are being lost. We got to be able to have that good conversation. I want to be able to take this commercial break, guys, and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation.
The Foundation with Howard Grant. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
Fresh dough, 3 cheeses, and signature sauce are why you should order Marco's Pizza today. Because quality ingredients are important. Subs, salads, pizza, and wings satisfy your cravings with something yummy and affordable. Only at Marco's Pizza. Join our loyalty program and earn 1 point for each $1 spent. Sign up at our website, marcospizzabahamas.com, or order on Marco's Pizza Bahamas app or online. Every store, every day. The Italian way. Hello, Primo.
Fidelity, we're good for you. With so much going on in the world today, only accepting cash at your business can be risky. Let Fidelity offer you and your customers safety, convenience, and the flexibility of a fixed or mobile terminal. Take it with you, on the move and on the go, because business should never stop. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit us at any of our branches. Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Foundation with Howard Grant, 96.9 FM radio, Guardian Radio. So happy to be in your company on this beautiful, casual Friday, sort of a laid-back Friday. Howard, why you take it there if it's a Friday? It's a little heavy for Friday. I mean, I'm sorry. But you can't let the thing live on your heart. You got to lose it. Amen? You got to be talking about these things, man. I just wanted to kind of put that out there and really talk about those things. If you know Gerard Davo, you know his family, you know those particular persons, please squeeze on their neck and throw up a soft prayer for them and just pray that the Father continues to be able to watch them in the time of bereavement. It's important that we do that. And if you lost a loved one, if you're out here and your heart is heavy, because I've seen some things circulating on social media, whether it be to gang violence, whether it be to gun violence, whether it be to, slip and fall, whatever it is, and you lost someone that you love, we continue to be able to pray with you and just pray that your strength as you move forward with a very clear understanding that support, that pillar that you had is no longer here for you. So we just hoping that you got reinforcements with a very clear understanding that there's love here. And I wanted to do that for Gerard. He's my very good friend. And I can call you now. I got to call you. But I couldn't call you this. I don't know what to say to you. Yes, I did not know what to say to you or how to say it. I didn't know. And I just wanted to kind of do that for you. So I wanted to do that, right? The lines are open, guys, wide open if you want to have a conversation with me. Are the lines open? Producer? The lines are open? Yeah? 325-4316. 325-4316. 325-4259. Or hit me up on the text 422-4796. Ensure that you be a part of the conversation as we're talking about national growth and development. The Prime Minister's in the paper today. And in the true sense of decency and order, we want to kind of identify these things. I got a couple texts that came through. Let me see if I can read a few of them. Cy, Howard, my wife and I lost a baby back in May. It still hurts today. I'm listening to your story with tears in my eyes. And yes, it's PMH's fault. I don't really want to put it. I don't know. Come on, man. Do we do this today? Do we identify the perpetrator and kind of highlight the loss and that hurt and pain? Is that satisfying to us? Should we fill it with that blame? It's lost, man. I think we need to be able to fill it with a sense of peace. So it says, Howard, I have a testimony about PMH. My mother has now passed 5 years, and the grief is still too much for me to speak about that place. I hope and pray that they can fix that place. We've heard too much stories about PMH. PMH, I don't want you thinking that we're banging on y'all today, but our community is so small. It is just so very small. And to lose men and women who we identify in our small subsectors of the community as pillars is sort of a hard thing. Many of us can't afford the insurance, or, we just can't reach what it takes to go private. We just can't. It doesn't diminish the love that we have for this person who's ailing. And to see them lost by this particular thing, I don't know, it was conversations. And we always know that something's going on. When they say things like, this one needs blood, you say, oh, Jesus, God. It's almost like a preamble to death locally. Talk to me. Am I clear? And if that's the case, then the emphasis on a blood bank should be enshrined in persons like myself and others. Because I've given blood maybe once or twice in my life. I'm serious. I promise you. I've given blood maybe once or twice. I can remember those times. And there's been times that for people who I love directly. And so I say, okay, let me go give blood. And I never understood what this meant. Right? But when this conversation started to circulate about the depletion of blood and the blood levels being able to drop significantly, and this kind of an idea attached to it. Now, I don't know whether or not this idea is a transparent one that people are being honest, or whether or not this is just a part of this kind of the flair to the conversation to add to it, to the drama of it. But to say that the hospital doesn't have the blood, it says to me, as a recipient of this information, I say to myself, well, we're going to have to do more blood drives. We're going to have to do more blood drives. We're going to have to be able to to emphasize on these particular things, to have persons come out here and give blood. We're going to have to talk about this. They're going to have to do a public service announcement because we cannot lose the loved ones, our family and friends and loved ones for a little couple of drops of blood. So what do we do? What is our part? Where do we go? And that's sort of the conversation that we have out here. Producer, I have a telephone call on the line. I do. I can't see that in here. I just want to let you know that. I want you to come check this out for me. All right? When you get a chance. But let the caller through. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard, how you doing?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
Everything okay. Are you talking about the lady who made the tape a couple days ago?
Yeah, Kenise Dowell, yeah.
Howard, for the first time I saw that last night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the lady, but I heard her cry for help. And I was like, man, we out there celebrating 50 years. So they celebrating, kicking off the launch of 50 years of independence. And our hospital system is not fixed.
Mm-hmm.
These things they need to, man, Howard, that hurt me so deeply. I barely sleep last night. I don't even know the people.
Honest to God, you don't got to say nothing. I know what you're saying. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why what you're saying is heavy. I open up my phone and I see the unveiling, right? And whilst you continue to be able to celebrate the government and the fact that we are in this time and season, I looked at the logo and looked at everything, and it shimmers with gold, and it shows this kind of this idea of arrival, right? And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, boy, look here. Paper and graphics just make everything look good. But when you lift your head from this paper and you look around our community, have we really grown, developed, and become the Bahamas that we envisioned 50 years ago?
No, I no, not at all. And I also had a sister-in-law who died in child labor about 8 years ago.
Wow.
Negligent on behalf of the hospital.
Wow.
But they need to fix it, Howard. They need to fix these things.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, have a good day.
I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. Thank you so very kindly for your call.
Okay.
We've heard these stories from time and time again over time. A lot of persons have been able to say to us, especially in Grand Bahama, they would say things like, listen, if you're sick, don't go in the hospital. That's what they would say. If you're sick, don't go to the hospital. And I don't think that this bears mentioning for any one administration, right? Maybe there needs to be something done to ensure and have that, give reverence to the lives that you assist. That's it. There's too many stories that comes out, and thank God for the persons who can come out and tell these stories. I'll never forget when my wife had my daughter, the second one. I tell you, I'm there. Like, I'm here. I'm in the hospital. I'm in the room. I laying on the bed on the side of her. I am here. And she had my second daughter. And we kind of, it's time, the babies, what do they go? What do they call it? Like, the little baby nursery thing after you give birth. The nurses take the baby and put them in this little thing, right? And my children is born high. They almost yellow. They pink, right? They look Caucasian. I might as well just shoot it out there. They look 100% Caucasian, right? So I went to check it out, and I kind of tiptoed around the corner, and I can overhear the nurses looking at the babies. Now, the nursery full of children, maybe like 7 children in here, right? During this particular time. And I'm looking at it, and as I tiptoe around the corner very slowly, they are over my daughter. 3 of the nurses over my daughter, right? And one of the nurses say, Jesus, somebody lied to this man, right? so they over the daughter, over my daughter, and they say, Jesus, that woman lied to this man. This ain't this man, child, right? So I say, sorry, but that's, you're okay, all right. And I laugh to myself because the level of professionalism is at an all-time low. I mean, to say that out loud, to come into your work environment extremely casual, as though you're out here as a janitress, just having casual conversations under the tree after you've done your duties, in a space where life is birthed and trying to be preserved and whatnot. I thought it was crazy. And that's only my story. How many stories out there exist where there has been, let the girl, she won't have sex when she young? Scream, let her scream. Don't bother with that girl. Stop screaming. I heard these stories. We've heard these stories. Is there heart that exists in this particular facility? Let's just talk about it, man. So the next text came through, guys. Give me a text, 42247. I don't want to make this beat up PMH day. PMH has done an extremely a stupendous job as it relates to being able to ensure that our persons are accommodated. No, whether or not we're indifferent with it, whether or not you had someone pass away during COVID, I think they did a good job. But that doesn't say that there's not room for improvement. And every time stories like this come to the forefront, it really bears telling, to identify the story and say, hey, something's gone wrong here. It is PMH. I have 3 friends that either lost their babies or a parent in PMH at the negligence of PMH. And now we keep saying negligence, but are there enough stories of negligence and the pursuit of sort of compensation one way or the other to be able to identify that there was negligence, or this is just pure allegations? Because I feel like it's allegations, and I don't think we should levy allegations against them like this without being able to have the hardcore facts in these particular instances, right? Say that place is a death trap. These are just texts coming through, guys. I just want to be able to do that. Say, with the amount of money that we've poured into PMH, its budget over the decades, what we have is unacceptable. I estimated over $1 billion has been poured into PMH over the past 40 years. Great show as usual, Howard. Your kid's yellow, and that means they grow up privileged. No, that is not what yellow means. Stop it. They grow up just like everybody else around here, looking for an opportunity to be able to get up and out of this place and do some things for themselves. And I just want to be able to build legacy. I think that's important. I just want to be able to build legacy. Producer, we have a telephone call? I do? I can't see it in here. I apologize about that. 325-4316, 325-4316, 325-4259, or hit me up on the text 422-4796. Let me take the caller. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead. Hello, caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead. No? Guys, I really do believe that they're making modifications to ensure that we strengthen these things and get all the lines up and going for you. I see some people doing some stuff around here. So if there is, any issues getting in, please forgive us. We're going to be able to rectify that for you. He's checking it out right now. But the numbers you can dial, 325-4316, 325-4259, or 422-4796, right? We're here live and in full effect. This is another text that came. So it says, Prime Minister Davis challenged us to do something meaningful. Call the election so that we can get rid of you and your party. That will be something meaningful for our unborn children and all. Ooh, this is heavy what you're saying. Because not to take it political, but this same time during the former Prime Minister Minnis's administration, by this time we knew that Minnis would never see the light of day again. By this time. By this time, we would have already seen him take on a very strong position in being able to help Dominica. I think we've seen that already, right? Yes, I think that's what we did. By this time, we saw him take on a very strong position and be very curt with the media and say NPO, right? Was it NPO? By this time, we would have already seen a part of him that we would have never seen in his kind of plight towards the election. So to be able to say to get rid of him or call the election, I don't know where the basis of that comes from. Not for me. I don't know where the base of that comes from. So I don't know. I mean, that just could be political malarkey and just trying to be able to throw your sticks in the fire to see if you can be able to start something. But I don't know. From what I'm seeing from this administration, if they stay the course and try to be able to identify how to infuse creativity and innovation, there could be a return of this administration for the first time in maybe almost 2 decades. Let me see if I can take a telephone call. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Howard. Happy New Year, man. Listen.
Same to you, my brother.
Can you expand on the foundation? Listen, I assume that you're talking about when we became a nation in 73, right? That's what you're saying?
Well, you mean the show's name?
Yeah, but you said the foundation. No. What foundation are you referring to?
The foundation. The show's name is The Foundation. The foundation is about the beginning and where we come from as a nation, right? To getting back to that. Now, the concept is that after a revolution, we then pull down the traditions, we then dealt with what we had to deal with, and we build again. But we build again from the foundation to ensure that it's stronger as we move forward. So that's the concept of the show. And so you'll see me take a lot of conversations. What I'm going to be doing on Mondays is really having conversations with some of the architects who've been a part of the foundation and building of the nation to ask whether or not we're on course or why y'all didn't do this or why you didn't do that. So we're going to have good conversations. That's basically what it's about.
Yeah, well, I wish you and your family the very best. But your intro is be a little too late, man. You don't get to your phone call. I was on the line for quite some time.
No, I couldn't see the phone calls. That's what I was saying to you. I couldn't see the phone calls, but I appreciate your patience, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I thought you would elaborate on what took place last night, which is, because you'll be dealing with issues that really matter.
You mean the
celebrating 50 years?
50-year anniversary?
Yeah, you're talking about PMH. That to me should be talked about at another time. We just had something significant happen last night.
And what was the significance for you?
I thought you would have driven your conversation.
What was the significance for you?
Well, we're in the 50th anniversary and the unveiling of what took place last night by the
Okay, so the unveiling was for the unveiling was.
Would have been there. I read out there as a spectator. All right, but I was there before 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I thank God I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that I thought that's the way your
these are
dealing with.
Every single year, watch me now, every single year from, I know myself over the past, let's say 25 years, there has been an unveiling of a logo or an introduction to what we're going to move towards, whether that's the 25th, whether 26th, 27th, 48th, we've always had these particular things, and it has been a relentless rhythm. The conversation that we're having today is an introduction to what I saw happen last night with the loss of life of a significant person in our society who is a representation of the next generation. And whilst we're celebrating the logo and unveiling of these particular things, the question is whether or not we as a nation have gotten to where we're supposed to be that we envisioned 50 years ago. That's it. That's what we're talking about. And so as we're continuing to be able to celebrate, is this just pseudo celebration, superficial, or do we see the change that we've been looking for in this nation? Now you answer that question for me.
I think there were quite a bit of change that took place over the last 50 years. I can say that unequivocally, and the evidence is there. But there's a whole lot more could have been done over the last 50 years, and there's still a lot to be done. So I can say unequivocally, yes, there changes still need to be made. We have gotten to where I think we should have been 50 years later after independence.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yes, that conversation should continue. But the reason why I said that is that I know you had to cut up on your callers because everybody started to talk about what take place at TMH, and I'm sure that ain't the road you wanted to go down.
No, I wanted to. You see, because there's two things that are happening simultaneously in this country. There is the traditional, and there is sort of the advanced, the technological, or the social that's happening here. I want to thank you for your telephone call because I do see some more persons. Thank you, my brother. I see some more persons, right? So I want to be very clear with you. There are some things that are happening in the country simultaneously. The traditional, there's an expectation that we be able to identify, celebrate, come together, commune, so forth and so on. We show our representation of what's happening, especially for the year of Jubilee that we're in. But there's another thing that's happening simultaneously. Social media. Social media has crafted its own concept of the Bahamas that is now. And this is what the younger generation consumes. If you took note of the persons that were there last night, these are the people who understand the rhythm of society. They show up to these events. They participate in these events. They like to say that they're there. But for the most part, no matter where we are in this country, even out, social media has crafted this concept of what this country is now. The paper shows us that there have been lives that have been lost, snuffed out over the past few days. We introduced a concept the other day that if we have deaths in the double digits, we feel like this is a successful year. And whilst we continue to celebrate and wave pom-poms to this idea of this jubilee and great country that we have, we're losing lives. Whether it be from negligence, whether it be from rejection entirely, whether it be from this lackadaisical approach, whether it be from this lack of professionalism in all spheres, whether that be no matter your ministry in your arm or the government. The day before that, we had a conversation about the fact that the government and the Ministry of Immigration is not doing their job. So whilst we desire from a traditional standpoint to identify and celebrate the things that the government has said, this is what we should do, there is another narrative that's living in the hearts and minds and the phones and in the subconscious of the next generation of Bahamians of what exists in this country. How are we going to deal with that? How? Are we going to reject it entirely? Young people are not, most of them ain't listening to this show. They don't listen to this radio station. But they got their phones in their hands every day. And if we don't understand that this is the juncture, the bridge, the intersection that we need to fuse our incentives, initiatives, desires to move this country forward, we will always be divided. We got to make some things happen. And I just wanted to kind of put that out there to do that. I'm not going to run away from the fact that a friend has passed away. And she took it before she passed away upon herself to record it in the event that she passed away. This is bananas. And no, this is not beat up on PMH Day. That's not what our desire is. But we got to be transparent about our position. We got to be honest. We're not cloaked and muzzled, and we don't have to be muffled by anything that exists in this space. We can be transparent and say there's some things that we need to work on. Don't you think there's some things that we need to work on? Let's just shoot straight. Let me see if I can read some of these texts before we get out of here. He says, good afternoon. Nurses talk like that all over the world. Okay. Well, I didn't have children all over the world. It says, Howard, I think the privilege separates people's reality from, I was 7. I knew PMH was a death trap. I had 3 daughters now and nightmares of PMH. Think you would be horrified if you heard some of the stories. Wow. Right? So it says, on a side note, if you can't admit your light-skinned children will have privileges above the darker-skinned children, they will expect white people to admit that privileges simply because they are elite. Light-skinned people need to own up to the extra favor and privileges that they get. I don't get no favor and privilege. Huh? But it says, I am light-skinned and I know I get over simply because of people's perception that the lighter skin is better. That's must be you. I don't know you. You may have favor on your life. So, this is Howard. You and your kids go to the bank for a loan. The loan will not be rejected. I received that in Jesus' name. I will go today. Right? Tell Brent I come in. Right? Howard, your call is a biggity. It says most of the staff at PM. I really don't make this about PMH. I'm not even gonna. Let me see if we do this. Right? Personally, I feel like the government is going to spend millions of dollars this year on these celebrations that could be put to better use. And I won't even start on PMH, who was treating my mother for something, but someone later admitted that they wasn't even sure what was going wrong with her. Somebody's texted and he says, Howard, the logo was stolen from Jamaica. So what's there to celebrate? The fact that we stole it? Ooh, just a little tight one. So it says, Howard, the caller is so off. They understand. Do they understand that simply unveiling of the logo does not dedicate what is happening in the Bahamas? We should not celebrate 50 years when medical educational system infrastructure and the moral fabric of our country is quickly eroding. Suck my teeth. Talking garbage. Wasting much money on these things. Okay. So that's a text coming through, guys. You know that we got to be able to take a commercial break for news and be able to do this. Let me see if I can get a couple more texts in. So he says, I think Bahamians celebrate 50 years of failure and corruption, like mindless puppets and buffoons, constant murders, death by negligence in the hospital, accidents galore, extreme illegal invasion. What did y'all Bahamians celebrate last night? Death and wickedness. Wow. Let's just be very clear about this. If we're going to have a conversation about the foundation, if we're going to have a conversation about building and finding where we need to in the year of our Jubilee, we're going to have this very clear conversation in strength and convictions without being able to turn to the east or the west and looking straight ahead to understand that we have a responsibility in our day and time. This is not our mother's responsibility. This is not our forefathers' responsibility. The onus is on us to ensure that this country that we envisioned, that we dreamed about 25 years ago, comes to life. We didn't have the strength, the wherewithal, the experience, the social position. We didn't have what we have now. But now we got it, baby. And we're going to use that influence and power, that strength, to change the country for the better. This is how I feel. And I wanted to be very clear about that. This is how I feel. And I wanted to have that conversation with you because everything ain't cookies and cream. Everything ain't peaches and cream out here. And if we can have a clear conversation about what's gone wrong and what we need to fix, then we could possibly get somewhere. But we keep tipping toe and dealing in political correctness. Oh, man, we can't say that. We can't say that. Oh, yeah, nobody want to get sued or any of these things. But how are we going to rectify issues? How? The Prime Minister is taking on a position to talk about the economy, to talk about education, to talk about the crime fight. And every time any administration has taken those positions, they only throw money at the issue. These are tangible issues. We've never dealt in the intangible. We've never dealt with dealing with the spirit of a man. We've never dealt with grief counseling. We've never dealt with sort of therapy for people to speak about the fact that they've been sexually harassed. We've never dealt with these things. We're only trying to be able to build schools. The children's still dumb. Not because they're incapable, it's because no one has identified how to be able to pull that strength, conviction, and that power out of them. You keep doing the same old model, man. Let's have a real conversation about this country. You're playing games. I don't expect the government to do that. I expect us to do that. Now, if you want to dive into the same conversation that everyone is having, I'm not fighting you. But you're not going to kind of weave me into that. We're talking with clarity, man. I wanted to do that. I know this is supposed to be a light side, but the economy, educate. The last time the PLP said we've done so much for education, they only doubled the budget and the same grades came out. Let's be very clear about it, guys. Great conversation that we're having. 96.9 FM radio, the foundation with Howard Grant. The numbers you can call 325-4316, 325-4259, 422-4796. We're going to take this commercial break for news and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation.
The Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation.
Ready to step into the future? From your front door to the backyard and everywhere in between. See and speak to whoever's there with Ring Video doorbells and security cameras now available at Alive. Protect what matters most, all from one easy app. Available in your Google or Apple Play Store. Visit bealive.com/ring to learn more. We are alive.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. 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 The foundation. The foundation. The foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. The Foundation 96.9 FM radio. So happy to be in your company. We left off on a high note, and we wanted to have these sort of conversations. I did not intend for this to go this way. But if we're going to be able to kind of just be like an ostrich and just put our heads in the sand when there are real issues and tribulation and turbulence happening in our country, then we deserve exactly what we get. You understand? But if we're going to be in this fight, if we're going to be here now in this season, in this time, during this particular time that we have right now, let's just be very clear about this. We're going to have to open up our mouths and move. This forward, upward, onward, together. Move. We're going to have to move. And this kind of a meandering on the coast and on the sidelines and just being able to exist and hope to God that you have a good, decent death and die in your bed, it's not happening in this country no more. For the country that we want to be able to see, there's this sort of an idea that exists that says that a true revolution, in true revolution, there should always be bloodshed. If you get dead biblical with it, anytime that there is a covenant made to move in a different direction, there's always bloodshed. Our country's never shed blood. This is not what I'm advocating for. But there got to be tears and grit associated with the building of this country. It cannot be casual anymore. And having these conversations about, well, my God, we can let Jesus fix it. Stop it. You're here, you get the strength, you get the power. You are in the vessel that can be released in this season. Let's make these things happen. Guys, I see your telephone go. My phone going crazy. When I was on the break, I got a couple telephone calls, couple texts, and whatnot. So I'm going to open up the lines real quick. But I have a guest in the studio. Before I do that, let me just open up the lines. Calling on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello, Mr. Ryan.
Hey, how you doing?
I've been listening to you on Guardian Radio when you and Desi was together a couple of years ago, and they split you all up and they bring you back.
Thank you, my
brother.
brother.
I'm glad you back, right?
I appreciate it.
But I call him from the family island, right?
Mm-hmm.
My problem with PMH is this. For us to move a loved one from the family island to Nassau, it's like $6-7 grand a flight, emergency. And then when you get to Nassau, you go to PMH, you sitting and asking in the emergency for 14, 16 hours.
That's my dose.
Understand me? And your people there complaining, they're hurting. I mean, they got the stats, they got the reports from the doctors. Why they can't move the people up further, faster? Why do you got to sit there? And then nurses complaining, oh, they shift changing, this and that and that and that. Yeah, shift changing, my people, life changing.
Wow. You're talking good. You're talking good. You're talking good.
I mean, I've been in the PMH with my heart attack.
Wow.
I took my wife and I took my mother multiple times. And we sit there 14, 16 hours. Yeah, asking is not the emergency.
Wow.
You ever been in there? Asking emergency? And see if you're asking if the emergency? Ain't no emergency
I
for
visited a few times. I could say that I definitely visited a few
Ain't no emergency for them. Yeah, you could be walking with your hand in your left hand and your right hand.
Yeah.
And you got to follow forms and sit down and wait.
Wow.
The fastest people to get served in national emergency is asthmatics.
Wow.
If you go in there with asthma, you go straight to asthma bay. You go in there with your head in your hand. You got to follow forms and wait.
My brother, I appreciate your telephone call. Which island you calling from?
Eleuthera.
You calling from Eleuthera?
Harbor Island.
Oh, Harbor Island.
Yes, sir.
You got to call me back and tell me where the little shanty town. Go put that chicken to sleep, though.
No,
he sound delicious.
No. That's our hard time food.
Oh, that's your hard time food. You can eat that later. All right.
Yeah. When we can't shop, we can eat them.
Call me until next week. We can have a conversation about the shanty towns down there and try to be able to see exactly what's what. But I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. Thank you so very kindly. Right? Let me take this last telephone call before we can be able to go to our guest. Because we got a guest. We started off on a particular wicket, but we got a guest and I want to kind of do that. Go ahead, caller, you on the line with us live.
Well, good afternoon, Howard.
Hey, what's up, Graham?
With the revolution, you got to have some sweat and grit. Well, how's $7,000 in 14 hours? There's a little sweat and grit.
Wow.
I want to know if the gentleman voted for my wife, because she did run in the 2017 election, and she ran on forming a North Eleuthera Foundation where the billionaires would have found property, bought the property, built a world-class hospital in North Eleuthera for him. But I guess he probably didn't want that, because he voted for the same old stuff that he always voted for. So he got it. The majority rule. So enjoy it. And I got to ask you, Howard, after 50 years, and I'm 50-some, what are we celebrating? You hit the nail on the head. I'm telling you, the only person talking about it. I think what we should celebrate is letting the only world-class, most modern city in 1960 in the hemisphere. It was more modern than New York. You didn't have to dig up all the roads like they do in Manhattan. And it was definitely more modern than anything in the Caribbean out here in the Atlantic, non-Caribbean Ocean next to Florida. And every home had central air and electric appliances. That was way ahead of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, which was supposed to be modern at the time. And we let it rot. We let Freeport rot, Howard. I want one of them Papa laughs. You know why? Because we're rich. Only rich people could buy a Lexus and let it rot, hey? That's rich people let Freeport rot. Sad. So your show, I think sometime closer when we're talking about independence, should be this. Let's identify where we're really at. Because only an alcoholic, once doing that, can recover. Until we realize and do an inventory on the intellectual capacity of the last 50 years worth of rulers, will we know what we should be looking for? And watch their performance in 50 years. I'm going to leave you with this. Grassroots, come with me. Because if they cared about you, you would have been doing better after 50 years. Am I correct?
Wow.
Later, Howard.
Thank you, my brother. I do appreciate your telephone call. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. 325-4316, 325-4316, 325-4259, or hit me up on the text line, 422-4796. Now, let's get to the meat of the matter.
If you'd like to make a call
and really have a conversation the way that we're supposed to. I told you yesterday, and I told you at the beginning of the show today, I think I did, that one of my very good friends is here with me, and she's sitting here with me, and really wanted to introduce you to something, a concept that she's had to really bring community back together, an opportunity for us to be able to identify our issues from a cultural standpoint, laugh at it, find jubilance, but really find reform, even in the midst of these particular things. And I want to introduce you to a very good friend of mine, an author, and definitely from Cultural Affairs. She's an officer for Cultural Affairs, none other than Miss Therese Davis. I am so happy to have you here with us, my dear. It is wonderful for you to be able to be. Now, sorry, I apologize to you that we start off.
It's okay. Good to see you, Howard.
On such a strong wicket today. But we're having some issues.
Yes.
And, you know, I've always looked at you as one of the persons who identify our issues as a nation, as a culture, cultural, put levity to it, you know, make it a little light, and be able to give you principles and understanding how to be able to reform these things, even in the character, Miss Daisy. She speaks to us from a cultural standpoint and speaks to where we need to strengthen ourselves and be reminded of how to attach ourselves to our foundation in faith. Talk to me about it.
Most definitely. Good afternoon to you, and of course to all of your fine listeners out there. I do feel the sentiments of what has been said, and but where do we go from here, I guess, is the answer. Or, sorry, is the question, and then we need to find the answer. But yes, truly, I am privileged to be a part of a community of artists that is seeking to make change. If you want to stop change, you can shut down writers and musicians and actors and dancers, because why? The the arts help to communicate a message like none other. Okay, so we know that music is a universal language, and also the arts in and of itself cross barriers. And so I do believe that we must look at the social issues, like you're saying, and find a way through the arts to address them. Many persons do not know that drama can be used as therapy. And also, many persons do not realize that situational comedy is what it is because it is a mirror of what's happening in society. So that is what has happened over the decades or the centuries, where we use the stage to reflect what's happening in the community and bring a message.
They celebrate Shakespeare.
Yes.
They celebrate these particular persons the world over who've been doing it, and I want to be able to commend you for doing just that. I've always told you that I believe that you have some gift to offer to the entire world. Mm-hmm. And whilst we're grateful to be able to have you here locally and to celebrate you on a month-to-month, day-to-day basis, it's truly important that we support you to find your wings to carry this message that you have to the world.
And I appreciate that. And I must say, Howard, over the last 22 years, I am grateful to the Bahamian family, my Bahamian family, who has done just that. I am aware that not everybody will like it or support it, because I don't like and support. When I say support, I may not be to every concert, because there are some things that I may just feel like that's not my genre, or I don't believe in the message that particular artist may be pushing. Mm-hmm. I don't have to pull them down, however. Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I don't have to pull them down. So I appreciate that support that has been there. And we just have to know, you have to be confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. All of us have something to bring to the table. There's a time and season for everything under the sun. There's a time to laugh, and there's a time to stop laughing.
Talk to me.
All right? There's a time to build, and there's a time to break down. Mm-hmm. There's a time to sow, and there's a time to reap. There's a time for everything. Mm-hmm. And so you can't be lopsided in this world. You can't just always, let's do it, and never have a time to relax, because other than you get a stroke. Mm-hmm. Okay? So we've got to balance this thing. Mm-hmm. And yes, we have problems, and I believe in celebrating what's good and looking at what's bad and trying to rectify that and fix it.
Mm-hmm. And while you talk about a time to laugh, January 27th and 28th, 2023, over at Bahamas Harvest, is definitely a time to laugh. Talk to me about it. This Daisy, let's say Daisy hits the jackpot.
Yeah,
talk to me about
Daisy hits the jackpot. Brand new play. Brand new, out the paper play.
Now listen, let me shoot straight with you. You will need to find a position for Howard to play in one of your plays. Amen?
Okay.
Because I won't be a part of the
thing. You won't be
right?
on the stage.
What you mean
and
like
watch this, Howard. Let me tell you something. The orange economy and the creative industry, let's talk about that. That's real, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you have persons who, they are very talented, but they have no job. And we have to learn how to say, you know what? No one wants to hire me. Let me hire myself.
Wow.
Social media is a serious thing. Do you know how many people all over the world, their job, they TikTok and they making money off blogs and vlogs and YouTube and podcasts, etc., etc. So watch this. Yes,
not the pretend money.
No,
this the real
yes.
thing. Man, it's an amazing thing. I'm blown away when I see the little 7-year-old playing with blocks. My children just tune into it all day. Even play. Daddy, I want to go hang out with Ryan. I say, who's Ryan?
Right.
Hang out with Ryan.
Right.
Ryan make $8 million a year.
Wow. Are you serious?
I am serious.
8 million
a year.
Okay.
Easy. This boy playing in his house with his mother and his father.
Yes.
I'm making $8 million for school.
Could I tell you that speaks to the fact that people are looking for entertainment? Now, I do believe that we have to balance this thing, because for people to just want to watch him and watch your lives, you could get so busy watching people's lives that you don't
pay attention.
You don't pay attention to your own, and you don't fulfill what is your purpose. But the point is, the creative arts industry is real, and who wants to respect it will. Who feels that it's foolishness, they'll just keep on going along and disregard it. But thank you to the persons who don't disregard it. Thank you to the persons who listen to the musicians, who celebrate our music, who celebrate our culture. Hats off to the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture for what they are doing. My director, Derica Delaveau Grant, tiny little lady, but doing powerful, big
She's a
things.
decent woman. She married a Grant. Hey, glory to God. She's smart.
She's smart, doing great things. You know what I'm saying? The Honorable Mario T. Bolek, of course, I give my regards to them, doing great things. And so for the unveiling that happened yesterday, you know, we are doing great things. It wasn't our ministry that did that. And so I give kudos to the Secretariat for the Road to 50. Yeah, and we're celebrating that we are 50 years old and we must just continue to advance. So going back to the show, it is next week, Friday night and Saturday night, and persons can come with the whole family if they want to. They can come and relax and expect to see themselves on stage. You know, James Catlin used to have a show called Laughing at Myself. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you too young?
Are you too young? Are you too young?
I don't know. I can't remember it.
Laughing at Myself. Yeah. But he I
remember there may have been like sort of I grew up in Grand Bahama.
Oh, that's what happened.
I can't remember it.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know, we had Cookie. We still have Cookie. Claudette Allen's doing a great job. We still have these persons. Of course, James Catlin is no longer with us. But we've got persons who are in the arts and they are utilizing the stage to bring about a message. And that's what we've been doing at Dynamite Productions for the last 22 years, Howard. We've been utilizing the stage through comedy and through drama to bring about a positive message. And what is that message? Reconciliation is one of the greatest messages that we are trying to promote.
This is heavy.
Reconciliation, because can I tell you, like you said, there's some real issues. And for that family that's dealing with the fact that their loved one has been murdered or their loved one has been lost due to negligence, you're going to have to come to reconciliation or else you're going to live the rest of your life with such a heaviness, such an unforgiveness, such a grief. It is real. And only God, Howard,
talk to me.
Only God can help you to forgive when you have been hurt.
These are the intangibles that I don't find enough people talking about. I know that governments are responsible for being able to build on what you could see, feel, and touch, but the development of the human being has to do with 90% of the spirit.
Listen.
How do we develop without being able to identify and strengthen the spirit of the man?
Definitely. You've got to see what the problem is, identify the problem. That's what the doctors do, huh? They assess, or that's what an engineer does. They come to an area, they look at it, and they assess. They say, okay, this is the infrastructural problems that's happening, that has happened, or that is pervasive, and we've got to work on it. So what we have to do is see the problem and then say, how can we now address it?
Yeah.
So even at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, a program called Youth Development Through the Arts is what I had the privilege of running for a few years. And our aim, develop these young people so that we could try to stop at least one from having to respond through violence, trying to stop from having to be so crushed by their environment or what happened or the abuse that happened to them that they just decide that I'm just going to drugs. I need to just cover this with drugs and alcohol. You see what I'm saying?
You have been, and I want to be able to commend you and your spirit, your tenacity, your faithfulness, your commitment, longevity, listen to me, you have done a tremendous job in being able to support the community with all that is who you are. You've done a wonderful job in terms of giving yourself over to find the reform. You ain't just talking about it. There's a lot of people talking about it and waiting for it to happen from an external standpoint.
Can't do that.
But you identify this and you pour yourself into it. And while you're dealing with those issues, even in the Ministry of Culture from that particular arm, I want to say to you that you have changed the life of my daughter. She was a part of your
summer program. Every year the ministry hires, oh boy, I don't even know how many hundreds.
She was a part of
your program. She was there, I remember.
And she was blown away by having an opportunity. I think she said, Daddy, we zoomed in and we spoke with a director from New York and we did this and we did that. We did that. She said, Daddy, I want to be a director. I said, okay, baby, let's go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And these are the things, it really molds and shapes the minds. One of the things I think we have an issue with in the country, and I've said this, and this is kind of where I am with this, I believe that we have a lack of community, right? That we don't really get together the way that we should anymore. And I also believe that there is a lack of hope in our community.
Yes.
So how do we infuse a true sense of hope? On the break, you and I were having a conversation. I remember when we would hope for something. I hope to get, when I get married, I
Yes.
hope to have children. I hope to do this.
Yes.
And we work towards those things.
Yes.
But I don't really see that as one of the prevailing things for young persons anymore. How?
Right.
How now do we revive, renew, restore, and kind of refresh this idea of where we are and where we're supposed to be? I really believe that should be one of the arms as we move towards this year of Jubilee, as
Yes.
we move towards our independence. Talk to me about it.
Definitely. Well, hope deferred makes the heart grow sick.
Wow.
Okay? And when you do not have hope, then you resort to, hey, whatever. If I don't believe that I'm going to be anyone or live for any length of time, then I live for right now.
Wow.
I need something. I don't have the hope that I'll ever be able to make the money to buy what I need. So I'm going to take it from you, Howard.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I need to feel a sense of empowerment, and I don't believe that I'll ever get there with the fact of my education or because I have a business, and so I take it. So yes, we must restore hope, and hope comes from outside of us.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if you keep looking on the inside, I'm looking for hope, you need to know that hope comes from God. Now, people may say, well, I don't believe in God. Okay, well, then you go right ahead. I respect what you say, but I'll tell you for me. See, Howard, people don't want to know how much you know. They want to know how much you care. Isn't that right?
That's it.
And because I have received the hope, I know what it is to be depressed, Howard, at the age of 14, and I know what it is to feel hopeless as a little girl. I ain't got no bills, I ain't got nothing of these things, but just that sometimes that spirit of oppression, that spirit of feeling,
heavy.
yeah, that's
And
a
it's
real
dark.
thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. And what has happened to me is Christ has brought me hope. And he's brought me the hope of, hey, not only life here, but most importantly, life after this. Because I realize, Howard, that this life right here, this ain't it, and this ain't enough, and this is fleeting. So my hope is not built on here. Could I say that?
How many you talking, man?
My hope is not built on what I could make here. And yes, that's important. And yes, I want to achieve. And yes, thank God I have achieved some things and there's much more. But my hope goes beyond this. And so that's what I want to pass on to my younger brothers and sisters. Listen, y'all, hope in a relationship with God, because you will be hooked into the real power source. Not a little small generator, but the big power source. So that's what we have to do. We have to offer. And watch this. People need forgiveness. People need, like I say, reconciliation. People need to know.
The burden of that is too heavy for us.
Yes.
I am a strong believer. I tell the story every so often. I carried this kind of, I can't believe, something happened to me that was unreconcilable. And I carried this with me. And I said, I can't believe that this happened to me.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Day in and day out.
Yes.
And I could feel something churning on the inside of me.
Yes.
Let's just be real.
That's real.
I could feel something developing in the inside of me. And that I had to be reminded of who I am.
Yes.
And what my grandmother said, and my family all reinforced, even in faith.
Yes.
What God said of me.
That's right.
This is not who you are.
That's right.
You got to let this go, baby.
Yes.
Or this can kill you.
You better believe that.
And I had to let it go.
Yes.
Right? And I had to
Yes.
find a way to be
Same
able to
here.
reconcile.
Same here.
And say, hey, listen, forgive them.
Yes.
Because they don't know what they do.
No.
Because they don't even know who I am.
No.
And they don't know the blessing. It says get dead, preachy, dead, quick. And I still want to do that.
Right.
But I need you to know that for the reform and transformation that we seek, we have to let some things go first.
You better believe
And we got to deal with some stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting here with my very good friend, Therese Nixon. Davis Nixon. Let's be trying to be decent now. Forgive me. I wanted to put there, ladies and gentlemen, please give me a telephone call, 325-4316, 325-4259, 422-4796. We're going to take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
The Foundation with Howard Grant. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation. The
Fidelity, we're good for you. Whether your business is in store, on the go, or both, let Fidelity work with you to maximize your customers' payment options with a fixed or mobile terminal so that you never miss a sale. It's safer than cash and more convenient. so that you can take your business anywhere. For details, contact a business development officer today at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport, or visit our website at fidelitygroup.com.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents are the best. Reliable service, we've been on the scene, protecting since 1919. J.S. Johnson Insurance has the test. You'll always cover me. J.S. Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM Radio, Howard Grant, the foundation in your company. So wonderful to have in the company on this beautiful Friday. It's a laid-back Friday. You know what to do on Friday. Carry your sweet thing in the can and get yourself a little conch salad. Go down there, the fish fry, go to Montague, wherever you go all the way out west. Make sure that you commune. I think it's important, especially during this time. I mean, we've seen so many persons pass away. Take time, cherish the ones that you love, and spend time with them. I mean, you know, it's very important. You don't have to wait until an argument ensues to give your woman conch salad. Amen? I mean, learn from my mistakes. Whenever we row, I got to care. My wife don't want no flour. What I can do with any flowers? I can't eat them. I say, baby, I'm sorry. Here's some conch salad. Well, you know, I was wrong. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the studio with none other than Therese. You know that she has a wonderful production. With Dynamite Daisy being able to bring those stuff on. Therese, it's so wonderful to have you here with us today. Thank you for taking time to really remind the Bahamian people where we are and how we can be able to deal with right where we are, even with levity, with jokes, with laughter, and making it light. Talk to me.
No problem, man. It's good to be here again. Daisy is outside waiting to come in, so I'm sure she'll be inside in a moment. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, it's good. It's good. Howard, I know this is a little heavy, and I know I noticed that nobody calling. Why? Because we're talking heavy stuff. So they hopefully will perk up, and but not to say that we're going to avoid the issues, because like you say, you can't avoid it.
How are you going to avoid it?
You got to face it, and then you got to fix it. So we're doing that. But the cast is ready to go. Could I let you know? The concept of the play, Daisy Hits the Jackpot, was written by Dr. Trent Davis. And I then took what he gave and just added and, created the Daisy effects on it.
It's Bishop Trent Davis.
He is Bishop Trent Davis. You better believe it. And so he wrote the play. And Red Eye, Terrence McSweeney, he's excellent at stage craft. And he has created the set, which is really, really nice. And so we've got excellent actors like Ricardo, Mr. Beads Forbes, Tina Price, we got Antonio, we got Sherry Wiley, we got Angelica McIntosh, and I'll just put a plug right here. We have 3 original songs that she actually wrote, and so yeah, man, we got a great show, and people are gonna love it. It's good to have Daisy back. The last time persons, I guess, was really talking about Daisy, she was up in Dubai. That's what she told me. But she's back and ready to go.
Daisy's a globe trotter. Let me see if we can take this telephone call. Calling on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Grant.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to Mrs. Nixon and, of course, Miss Daisy. I never miss a play. I try to get to every one of your productions because they're always so good, and it makes you feel so good, and it's so good to get out and relax and laugh. I remember when we bought my little granddaughter one time, she always loved Miss Daisy, and I used to have to do it for her, mime it for her.
Wow.
And then when we brought her to the play, and then you might not remember this, Miss Daisy, but when you came down the stage, they were in the Shady Street there at the time. She, oh my goodness, the poor child cried. So I said, what happened? But you love Miss Daisy? She said, from up there, but not down here.
There you go.
She was
From a distance.
She said, I say from up there, Grammy, but not down here. She was so little. And now, I don't know if you remember, but she sang the national anthem for the Ministry of Sports. And they did it viral at that time because, it was during the pandemic.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure you know her name is Elena Manning.
Yes.
Right. She has such a beautiful voice.
She does.
Yes,
She
and
does.
now she's away in college, so I told her mother when I saw it advertises, my friend Terrence sent me the flyer.
That's right.
Because I think Terrence does something with your set.
He built a set for us.
Right,
He built,
the
yes.
set, and he told me that he sent the flyer to me because he knows I don't miss your production.
I appreciate you so much.
Oh, yes, and so when he said it, I text my daughter right away and said, now, Miss Daisy show, I got to be there.
There you go.
Oh, yes, so I will be there, and, to keep up the good ways of trying to reform these children because they really, really need it. This world we're living in, it seems like the devil is just so busy. He's not, letting anyone go. And honestly, every day there's a temptation for you to just let him take over. You just have to keep praying.
Yes, Mom.
And these children, they need to, what's most important of all, the children need to go back to basics. You see, people think, please, thank you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening is outdated. That's not true. These basics that we need to go back to, and if these parents only would bring these children up with these basics and the fear of God, and to have God in their lives, we would do much better. Because temptation is out there for all of us.
Sure.
And every day we are all tempted.
Yes.
But honestly, just sometimes you get it, and then after that you got to praise the, oh Lord, forgive me. Because these people, they do all sorts of things in the street. They ride all around you in the traffic. They just don't care.
Yeah.
They're doing all kinds of things. They cause you getting accidents. I don't understand. I've never thought I would see this day where people were so lawless. You go into
That's
the
heavy what you're saying,
and the people are parked up in the disabled spot. With no sticker, they don't care. And these big, robust young men and women jump out and go where they got to go. And leave it. Because, again, we don't have no discipline. Discipline is so important. And discipline has to start from the home. And these parents are not disciplining these children in the way that they should. You have to discipline a child with love and to let him know when he's right or wrong. And so we get these lawless adults. The adults, they don't care. They just do anything they feel like in this country, and it's sad. I see in the streets there are no markers, there are no signage saying how much miles an hour you should make. So they're making 100 on Carmichael Road.
Wow. You can't make 100 on Carmichael Road now.
Down these little small little roads like as if that's a highway.
I appreciate your telephone call, and we, all of us out here, feel your heart, feel your passion. I know you always say that you'll be able to visit and join Ms. Daisy in all her productions. I really want to be able to thank you and your testimony for all those things. It's really, Therese, the heart of people. They take on these particular issues, and they look for an opportunity to kind of to really commune with our brothers and sisters and have something light. So what you do, like I said to you, is truly, truly important for the community.
Howard.
Miss Daisy, I really didn't
No,
see you walk.
Howard.
I didn't see you walk in the room.
No, I saw when I came in here, you looked me in my eye, Howard. And you ignored me in this 2023, Howard.
I love
you. You only see Therese?
I'm sorry.
I mean, this girl is sitting right. Hey, Therese. This girl is. You all right, Therese? This girl is sitting here, and I walked in, and I waited on. No, Howard. I waited.
Like
don't tell me what I can and cannot do, Howard.
Daisy, we was having a good, decent conversation, and me and Therese and I were just having a
but
very.
How long you the show almost over? Almost over, and you ain't let me in. You know what you was gonna do? Wait for the last 2 minutes, and then let me in here. But yeah, I know. And by the time I get the voice, I'll send it out. Because for some reason, I do have a speech impediment sometimes. I wouldn't get nothing. All the people would hear me say, oh, good. Good afternoon to the nation. That's all they would hear.
Now, I will say this to you.
I don't like it, Howard.
Well,
I want you to change your ways.
I apologize.
I want you to see in 2023. Okay. Ow! Hey, everybody, what y'all saying? 96.9, baby. What the show name, Howie?
The Foundation.
The Foundation and the Rock, baby. Wakanda forever, baby. Come on now.
Now, I want you to tell me while you're here, because
Uh-huh.
Therese started to tell me about Daisy Hits the Jackpot. So while you're here, I want you to tell me about the Dynamite Daisy production. What is this play all about?
Okay,
Talk to
well,
me.
Howard, listen to me. Who wants to be a millionaire or a millionaire?
I do.
Okay, and most people, Howard, looking for money in all the wrong places. Some looking for it in the right. And this show is about how money can change the dynamics of a family. I'll give you a little hint, Howie. Somebody in this production, somebody, wink and I'll point, somebody is winning a whole lot of money. And we can see how it changes the relationships. Can I tell you, Howie, a lot of people say, I want money. But with that same money comes some other stresses. Because now you got to pretend like you ain't got no money, so the people who know you got money don't thief it from you, Howie. And then what you got to do is pretend that you ain't never win the money, so that not everybody come borrowing 10,000 from you, Howie. You understand?
Well, you got to do that. You can't say, and the society is so small. How you gonna hide your money?
Oh, well, that's it. But the one thing you could
Everybody
do,
know you hit
you
the number.
gotta invest it. You understand, Howie? Let me ask you something, Howard Grant, Big G. Howie, if you was to win $1 million, hit the jackpot, baby, what would you do with that money, honey?
Well, I can invest it. I come to work the same day, the next day, and every day after. You will never know.
Or you'll come to work.
Oh my God, you ain't gonna know that.
Will you do FDX, Howie?
No.
FDX? Will you?
You know the money gone.
Oh, it gone, eh?
The money gone.
Howard, can I tell you? The only way I found out what FDX really meant is because when I listened to my friend, Dwight Scron, on the morning blend.
Yeah.
I was tuned in one morning, and I said, oh,
That's what it is.
That's what you know what I thought it was? I thought it was fix the dumb X-ray. That's what I thought. FDX.
You serious?
Yeah, fix the dumb X-ray. That's what I thought it was.
No.
Yeah, because they X-ray my chest area when I had some little dumb complications, and man, they saw some things in my chest. I say, oh, great, fix the dumb X-ray.
Oh, there was an X-ray for it.
Yeah.
Praise God, because you know we can need you around.
I gonna need to be here.
Praise God.
Yeah.
But tell me about this. When is the play and how persons can be able to be a part of it?
No
Everyone
problem.
in the community loves you, loves everything that you do. We know that we normally see this around December.
Boxing Day, yeah. We you usually have it Boxing Day, but this time we had to skip over Boxing.
You switch it up in
yeah,
this
because
year.
I was trying to get ready for Drunk or No.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I was still trying to get my costume together. And that's why I say Wakanda forever. Yeah, but they didn't let me match with them, but I did have my my clothes ready.
You didn't?
Yeah, I couldn't. They told me, no, Daisy, you stay.
Yeah.
I went to one family. They said, no, Daisy, you don't go. I
so
went
you
to the
went-
valley. They say, no, not this
Not the
time.
Saxon.
No, I went to the Saxon. They say, no, not this. Only people who was willing to let me come through with them was the Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers.
And they all the way in Grand Bahama.
And I can tell you one thing.
Yeah.
They open their arms open. They'll accept anybody.
Bushwhackers wanted
I
me.
think Kevin, who was with the Saxon, I think he's actually going over to the
He's
Bushwhackers.
going to the
or- I
Bushwhackers.
think
Well,
he
I'll
is.
go with him because I do have some feathers and wings that he could borrow. I have them, and he can borrow them. But yeah, Howie, it's next week, Friday night, Saturday night at the old R&D, but it's now the reformed. It's called Bahamas Harvest. Oh yeah, right on JFK.
Listen,
it's gonna be wonderful.
Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
It's a beautiful
Hats
look.
off to Pastor Mario and Erica Moxie.
I'm serious.
I love them. They're my people.
And listen, when you want to talk about production and all the professionalism, we had an opportunity to kind of do something there. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. Now, how do we get in there?
Okay.
Is there a cost?
How do you get in? You usually go right through the door. And once you open, you should just put your right
let me
foot.
talk to the rest.
Okay, come back to rest because how we ain't ready.
Let me talk to the rest.
He ain't ready for
Let
me.
me talk to the rest. All right?
Sorry about that, Howard.
How you could just let her just...
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
If I didn't allow her to speak, it would have been a...
With clarity,
Yes.
Miss Daisy, I apologize to you, but with clarity, Therese, talk to me. Talk to me.
Yes, sir.
Miss Daisy, leave the mic alone.
Okay, okay.
Go ahead, Therese. Now speak to me.
All right, so tickets are available at the 17 shop. You know, we love them. We appreciate them. Also, Courtesy Food Store. So if you're in the Carmichael Road area and you need to pick up some cream and some rice, you could get your ticket the same time. So thanks to Courtesy. And of course, Golden Gates World Outreach Ministries always has tickets. And so that's where persons can purchase their tickets. We do have $40 tickets, which is general seating, and then we have a $50 preferred seating. So for that preferred seating, they need to call 341-8164. I'll say that number again, 341-8164, and that is for preferred seating. And we actually are delivering tickets. Now, our preferred seating, I'll be honest with you.
Delivering tickets?
Yeah, we are delivering tickets.
To people's house?
If we need to, yeah. We've been delivering some to the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. Someone called and asked for 8 yesterday and asked for 3 more this morning.
Well,
so
the pandemic do something to people, eh?
yeah, people are
My
ready to
God.
come out and do something. And I know that this is also, like we always say, January's a long month.
Yeah.
And so, payday, thankfully, is I think next Friday for government workers. Is that correct?
I don't work for government.
You don't work for government. Thank you very much. So payday is next week, I believe, either Thursday or Friday. And so you can get your tickets at the door. It is not more at the door. We usually, in the past, we say more at the door to try and encourage people to get their tickets early. But we're not going to do the more at the door because we know that some people are waiting to budget their monies and or pay their bills first. And then they can just come on down at Bahamas Harvest. We'll be there on Friday night from 6. They could come and purchase tickets. Doors open at 7 and show time is 8 o'clock, sir.
It's a text that came through. It says, Miss Daisy got me cracking up on my job. She's funny and awesome. When you bringing her to Exuma,
Wow.
I love it.
Exuma.
Miss Daisy, they talking about you.
Yeah. Exuma. Miss Daisy. I could talk? Yeah,
No,
she said I could go ahead.
Go ahead,
Okay. Exuma, we really want to come. Actually, this year, the road to 50, could I let you know that we are starting off here in New Providence and then we are going to go island hopping. Yes, we are. Now, this big show called Daisy Hits the Jackpot, God's willing, will be heading to Grand Bahama. I do not have the date yet, so I'll come back and let you know about that, Howard. And we want to go to Exuma, Eleuthera, and Abaco. They are on our radar. Now, whether we take the full show, it depends on the partnerships that we may be able to form, because it is a lot to move a cast of 9 and then to move another 4 persons.
You got to get your set. You got to do
Yes,
this. You gotta
it's
do
a
that.
lot.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot. And some persons do not realize, but it is very easy. $20,000 is our average, what we would usually spend to put off a show like this.
That's affordable.
Okay. It's more this time. We're higher than we usually, but just to show persons that it's not a small undertaking, and there are jobs that are being provided for persons. Persons who act, persons who write, lighting persons, Red Eye, Terrence McSweeney, who builds the set, sound engineers, persons who created the videos, persons who have done the graphics. You understand what I'm saying? So this
It's a
is
team.
It's a
Yeah.
team,
Yeah.
and not only is a team, I want people to know it's a creative industry.
Yeah.
This is an industry, okay? And the more we support it and the more we be a part. And hell, I must say this, product placement is something that we are big on. So Daisy has to drink water on the set. So there is a water company who is going to provide water for us. And of course, Daisy will say, what kind of water I drink in. On the set, Daisy has to have hot tea. So it's not going to come from, it's going to come from Tasty Teas. Mr. Forbes?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, it's coming from his store. And he is saying, hey, Daisy, I want to partner. So if anybody wants to partner, classic formal wear, they're going to dress one of our characters on the stage. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we can partner. Listen, we do this together, and we do it better when we do it together.
Now, I want to be able to say this. I think it's very important that you remain committed in these particular areas, and I want to thank you for doing that. But for those of you who are out here listening and you understand that there is a sense of creativity going here and there's a fusion from that community, you may not necessarily be creative, but you may be financially endowed.
There you go.
To me.
Yes.
Hey.
I could talk to you on that.
You may be financially endowed and you want to invest.
There you go.
Because investing in Daisy is investing in the future of our youth and our children in this country.
Underwriting is a very powerful...
you got to do that.
Yes, somebody has to underwrite. And like you say, you may not be the one. I mean, all over the world, you have arts endowments. And so we are open. I announced this without any hesitation. We
They
are
can
open.
call the same number. They will give you some money.
They can call, yes.
341-8164.
Yes, or they can call me direct. They may say, you know what, I want to talk to her. 557-4684. Yeah. No prank calls, please. Call me if you're serious.
No, yeah, but it's important. I always like to, and you know this also well, in my pursuit of trying to being able to get some stuff, I realize that I need relationships. I need to be able to do some things, and I also need people to support me from a financial standpoint.
Course.
So I know your plight. I know your position.
Yes.
I commend those persons who support you over the years. I commend those persons who continue to follow with you, those sponsorships. And if you're open to doing this, please give Miss Daisy, give Therese a call, 557-4684, 557-4684. Or, if you just want to be able to pick up your ticket, ensure that you can get your VIP, please give her a call at 341-8164, 341-8164.
Definitely.
You can be able to do that. So we could be able to do that and make these things happen, man. Listen, I want to thank both you, Therese, and Miss Daisy for coming. I know that the introduction may have been a little weighty, but I thank you.
You're welcome.
And I know that the position you've taken. You've carried these issues in your heart. You know this oh so well.
I do.
And this is why you do what you do.
Definitely.
And I want to thank Miss Daisy for being able to be. Miss Daisy, thank you, ma'am. Okay? I know you're sitting here.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
We're so happy to have you here.
Therese, forget to say something, no. Electro Telecom. His name is Paul Smith. He's a powerful man. He did something recently for the boys at Simpson Pen. Here is a man that's putting his money where his mouth is. He did a Thanksgiving thing for them, free, not free to them, but he paid for everything, and he invited me to come down there, and I went, and we partnered together, and now I having a show. You know what the man tell me? Daisy, you could depend on a couple tickets from me, and that's how we work together.
Wow.
Yeah, he just say, something for coming and not charging me to talk to these and host this event. I'll buy a couple tickets. So call him.
Telecom?
Electro Telecom. He may have a ticket he could give you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is Paul Smith.
Paul Smith.
Yeah, Electro Telecom. And support his business,
You got to support his business.
Support it.
Mr. Paul Smith, if you're out there, we commend you for being able to take on this business, this position, and being able to support both Therese and Miss Daisy and doing Dynamite Daisy production. This is what the community needs, an opportunity to be able to get your stuff out, to show your talent, develop, and to find your passion in life and tap into that. I thank you so very kindly for being a part of it. Anything else you want to say about the show?
Well, I have nothing else to say about the show other than come on out. You will not regret it. It's going to be a wonderful experience.
You got to do that, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you so very kindly. Happy birthday to all those who are celebrating birthdays today. Like I said, it's a light Friday. It's a time that you can be able to go out. We've been locked up for about 2 years now, and some. So it's very important that we start to commune and to spend some money in the community once again. I always send you to the Kong Salad guys, but if that's not your thing, go somewhere, spend some money. Let's see our society, our community make some things again. And spend some money with Miss Daisy, with Dynamite Daisy production.
Yeah, baby.
It's going to be next week.
Next week, yeah. 1 week from today.
1 week from
Friday
today.
night and Saturday night.
What
See,
time?
my Adventist friends, they're going to come Saturday night.
Yeah, they come Saturday.
After the Sabbath.
After the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Yes, sir.
That's a good time.
Oh, that's good time.
You can go home, get you fresh.
There you go.
Make sure get you fresh.
Because we ain't been bathing for a while in this cold.
The wipe-off season
The
is
wipe-off season is over. Pull up selector. Time to bed.
Oh, my
Howard,
God.
time to bed.
Time to bed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very kindly. You're going to see us on Monday. We're going to have a great conversation, get ourselves prepared to really talk about the road to 50. And we're really going to be doing some introspection. We're going to look at these things and really question ourselves as to whether or not we are where we need to be at this 50th juncture, this 50 year. So we're gonna have good conversations and dive into those things. I thank you so very kindly for being able to be a part of it, and all those persons who've been able to chime in and support us. We thank you so very kindly. Make sure you go out to check out Ahmad Rashad tomorrow. Ahmad Rashad Thompson in Fox Hill. He's going to be doing the Shift into Focus, and we want to hear more about that. Guys, my number is 827-0111. If you want to be a part of Small Business Thursday next week Thursday, give me a call. Let's make some things happen. Have a beautiful weekend, Bahamas. 96.9 FM Radio, Howard Grant with the Foundation. Therese, Miss Daisy, thank you again.
We're good for you. With so much going on in the world today, only accepting cash at your business can be risky. Let Fidelity offer you and your customers safety, convenience, and the flexibility of a fixed or mobile terminal. Take it with you, on the move and on the go, because business should never stop. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit us at any of our branches. Fidelity, we're good for you.
It's time to shift